And we are live.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Strictly Casual Podcast for episode 28 on this Friday, August 14th. Strictly Casual is your unoriginal podcast by unprofessional college students dedicated to bringing you, the viewer, the latest and greatest gaming news of the week. Before we get into the roundup, Vin, how are you doing? What have you been playing?
I am doing super good and exhausted kind of
Okay.
dealio. It's just been a busy ass week. Like work wise,
Quite the week.
Quite the week. Work wise and everything. But I'm trying to play some games in here. I played a little more Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Maybe like an hour. It's alright. It's alright. I think I should be spending my time playing another PlayStation exclusive that I haven't played. You know, like Days Gone.
Persona 5.
Or Death Stranding. I don't know if I'm ready for Persona 5 yet.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
But I've also been playing Fall Guys, the new Call of Duty season.
Okay.
What else did I download?
Call of Duty season.
It's fine.
I haven't played any of it. It's just fine.
I've just played some Warzone. I haven't even played multiplayer.
How's the train? What's the train like?
It's alright. It's nothing new. It's just another movement mechanic in a Battle Royale game. In the ever attempt to make Battle Royale better than it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Haven't gotten any Halo in this week.
Damn.
Played a lot more Valorant.
And you're on
season's
2, right?
kicking. Yeah, Halo 2.
Okay.
What else have I played on my PS4? I downloaded Overwatch. Downloaded Overwatch, played a couple matches.
Wow.
I suck.
How's it feel?
It feels fine. I just don't want to play it in 30 frames per
main?
second. Yeah, bro. What's her name? The sniper girl with the automatic gun. Widowmaker. Thank you. She's by far my favorite character in the game. Like by 2 miles.
The skins are getting pretty crazy in that game nowadays.
Yeah, I think I want to get back into Overwatch when Overwatch 2 jumps in, and they have like, I know it's not like a brand new game. They're like all the content's coming over as well, but I think that's gonna be good time to jump back in. Right now, I feel like nobody new is jumping back in, and I'm just getting sweated out the ass, bro.
Yeah.
So, but it was fine.
That's how I feel about Fall Guys now.
You still have dubs in Fall Guys. I'm still sitting at a goose egg on Fall Guys.
You're right. I shouldn't be complaining.
Yeah. What are you even playing?
Played some Fall Guys with you and Ryder and them on the stream. Played some Sea of Thieves that same night.
Cool.
That was fun. A lot of fun.
Did you play that with Goldie?
Probably about an hour just to figure out what we need to do. We like sailed around on all these islands before we actually picked up a voyage.
Yep.
So we had to go all the way back, do that. And it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
The water looks so good in that game.
It does. Who'd you play with?
I played with Colton and Ryder.
Very cool. Sweet.
Yeah, that was fun. And then I jumped into Risk of Rain 2 because that went 1.0 this week. I just played some solo. It's a lot more stable than when I played it originally.
Okay.
Higher frame rate, maintain that more.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more characters.
Yeah.
Played as this engineer dude who he has like turrets he can throw down.
Sure.
And so throughout the game, it's a roguelite. So you have power-ups like in a lot of other roguelites, like Binding of Isaac or whatever. You have power-ups that make you stronger throughout your playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have these turrets that gain all the abilities that I have with all the... So if I pick up like damage times 10, the turret also gets damage times 10.
Sure.
I can drop 2 of those guys. And so that's like a main mechanic for the engineer. So I don't really have to do a lot myself. I just throw down these 2 turrets and maybe some mines.
Yeah.
And just let them do the work. And it was great. It's a lot of fun.
I was watching some streamers play it the other day. Okay. They were having a great time. And I was like, oh yeah, this could be fun. This could be fun.
$15 on Steam Store. I'd be willing to buy it again just to play with you and Colton and Ryder.
What are you playing it on? PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Got it. Yeah, maybe PC. Maybe I should just go for it.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see. Now,
I don't know.
Yesterday, James.
A
huge story broke, I'd say. And
Absolutely.
I'm definitely not the expert on this. I was reading tweets about this in between like a photo shoot that I had to go to and a live stream setup for someone else I had to go to. Mm-hmm. So you're the expert on this bad boy. I only know the surface level stuff. So you're going to have to explain to me too.
It's a lot, Vin. I'm going to tell you that right up front. This is a lot.
Let's start it off. Let's get it going.
All right. So this is the FORTNITE versus Apple Battle Royale. Okay. See what I did there?
I love what you did there. Mm-hmm.
This is from not the entire, but a majority of the Verge staff. Not even a majority, just like 5 people.
Okay.
Comes from Andrew Webster, Nick Stat, Shame Gartenberg, and Jay Peters.
Those are all the names we recognizable.
Those are all the recognizable names, but I didn't want to go to say that that's the entire Verge staff. I'm sure they have a lot bigger.
You know, but that's all the people we use for the podcast too.
Sure. Those are all the gaming people that we know. Okay, so this is the whole story from beginning to the end. Well, I guess the end isn't even a part of it yet, right? This is still ongoing.
Oh yeah, it's still ongoing. This is not the end.
Still ongoing. Absolutely not the end. Okay, so here's what happened. Epic Games offered a new direct payment in Fortnite on iOS, like a direct payment system on iOS and Android, both stores, to get around App Store fees.
Yes.
Right? So they wanted to get away from Apple taking their like 30% off of in-game purchases. So they went around that and made their own direct payment in Fortnite.
Now, I saw a screenshot of that because when I read that off the page, it doesn't really click for me until I saw the screenshot, which was literally on an Apple iPhone, right? You're playing Fortnite, and when you go to buy V-Bucks, there's 2 options. You can buy it for the App Store for $10, or you buy it through the Epic Game Store for $7 for the same amount of V-Bucks. And it was literally an option you click on. So obviously you're going to go for the cheaper one.
So that was the permanent discount on V-Bucks.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. So that was the permanent discount that they gave to V-Bucks on Thursday. Then Apple kicks Fortnite off of the App Store because, quote, Epic is violating its App Store guidelines by using its own payment system, end quote. So because they went around and offered their own payment system, that was a violation of the App Store guidelines, so Apple says. So Epic then planned to mock Apple's most iconic ad as revenge. This is the same ad that we will come to see that was the original unveiling of the Macintosh computer.
Yes.
The first Macintosh computer. So then, right after that, they just went ahead and sued Apple. Epic Games did.
Well,
and
are we talking about the short film yet or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
This is just, they said they were going to plan the short film, and then they went ahead and sued Apple.
Got it.
Which, I mean, I think that escalated really quick.
Very quickly.
There was more stuff behind the scenes. I don't know.
Now, James, real quick, can you imagine 4 years ago, Epic trying to sue Apple? No way.
No way.
But Epic is now a titan.
It's a giant. Yes, absolutely.
They have the assets and ability to sue Apple, which is huge.
Because of Fortnite. I think it's mainly because of Fortnite.
I would have to agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Without Fortnite, the game that we all mocked, the game that we all said was a kid's game.
The game that I put more than 700 hours into in the first 500 in 1 year, 700 within 2 years. Just to throw that one out there. Okay, keep going.
That's a lot. Okay. So, Epic Games sues Apple, and then here I'm going to get into some of the legal stuff.
Sure.
Okay? Just to get into the nitty-gritty.
Stick with us.
So the legal complaint filed in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of California seeks to establish Apple's App Store as a monopoly, right? So that's their claim. Apple's App Store is a monopoly, and the civil suit is seeking injunctive relief to, quote, allow fair competition, end quote, in mobile app distribution. Yep. So they're saying that Apple, because they have a monopoly, is not allowing fair competition to Epic Games in addition to other third-party developers. The complaint reads, quote, Epic brings this suit to end Apple's unfair and anti-competitive actions that Apple undertakes to unlawfully maintain its monopoly in 2 distinct multi-billion-dollar markets. 1, the iOS app distribution market, and 2, the iOS in-app payment processing market, as defined below, end quote. And so this is where it gets into how they're both defined, I believe.
Yeah.
Quote, Epic is not seeking monetary compensation from this court for the injuries it has suffered. This is from the article.
Yeah.
For the injuries it has suffered, nor is Epic seeking favorable treatment for itself, a single company. Instead, Epic is seeking injunctive relief to allow fair competition in these 2 key markets that directly affect hundreds of millions of consumers and tens of thousands, if not more, of third-party app developers.
So let's dumb this down. Epic is not fighting for itself because Epic's going to do fine with whatever money they make. They're fine.
they're loaded. They have enough money.
They're fighting for the consumer and companies around the world that deal with Apple.
Yes,
which
absolutely.
is epic, if you would say.
Nice.
Thanks.
So you did that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that is what they're doing. They're saying, oh, we're the Robin Hood that's stealing from the
Sure.
rich, giving to
Yes.
the poor. Nick Stack goes on to summarize. Quote, Epic is alleging Apple has a monopoly in the form of the iPhone, the iOS ecosystem, and the App Store that binds the two together, as well as having unreasonable restrictions on the distribution of iOS apps. There are also unreasonable restrictions on payment processing within said apps.
Yeah.
And this is in parentheses, allegedly violating the Sherman Antitrust Act of 1890 that was used to break up monopolies during the turn of the 20th century. Epic claims that Apple has violated 6 separate accounts of this act.
It's a lot of damage.
End parentheses, end quote. The complaint also accuses Apple of 3 accounts of violating the California Cartwright Act, which prohibits price fixing and trade restraint agreements, and 1 count of violating California unfair competition law.
You already know, James, that Apple's going to try to spin this with like, oh, these laws are outdated, like 1890, like they don't apply to the technological world we live in now, things like that.
Sure.
But if we're going to be honest, like as much as I love Apple, I think Epic's got this one. Like they've really got this one in the bag.
Not to be impartial or not to be partial.
Yeah.
But I really hope they got this one in the bag.
I think they do.
I hope they do. The case, we'll get into this in a second.
Yeah.
But they also sued Google, and I think that has a little more gray area.
Sure.
But I think they kind of got this one in the bag from my unprofessional.
Are you saying Epic sued Google recently?
Yes.
Like right now?
Yes.
Wow.
Like
okay.
Close to, if not at the same time they did. Apple.
Is that are we talking about that too?
We're talking about that next.
Wow. Okay.
Epic does not take issue with the fact that Apple requires devs to use the App Store. Rather, the game studio thinks it's unfair that Apple requires you to use its payment methods, giving Apple 30% of all in-app revenue on digital goods. So they're saying because Apple is not only forcing you to go through the App Store payment, but it is also taking profit because it is forcing you to go through them.
Yeah.
That is the violation of law that is the monopoly, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why this is such an issue. Epic Games then, after this whole lawsuit happened, Epic Games releases an in-game short film called 1980 FORTNITE.
1980 FORTNITE. Yes.
It's kind of bad. Like it's not very close.
But, it's baller. It is so baller. Keep going.
But it's a parody of Apple's 1984 commercial that debuted the original Macintosh computer, and this contained the final. At the end of the video, it showed the final tagline: "Quote: Epic Games has defied the App Store monopoly. In retaliation, Apple is blocking Fortnite from 1 billion devices. Join the fight to stop 2020 from becoming 1984." And that's the end of the quote, along with the hashtag
Free Fortnite. FF.
All right.
Yes.
So what do we have here? We have so they Apple kicks off the App Store after Fortnite ensues or implements its own payment method.
Right.
So Apple takes it off. Epic sues Apple, right, for monopolizing the App Store, the medium through which you buy games, the distribution of games, and monopolizing the payment systems in place. And then Epic goes even further and trashes Apple on social media with this short film. Yes. Okay. So here is some more. If you're even more like, okay, why should we cheer for Epic? Even though they're already rich. Okay.
Also, James, you did a great job explaining that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I tried to make it as succinct as possible while still maintaining the facts.
Yes. You did great.
Greg Miller, host of Kind of Funny, compares it to when Taylor Swift took on Spotify in support of smaller artists. When Taylor Swift was fighting against Spotify because smaller artists were not getting the same promotion and pay as some of these bigger artists. Ultimately, as we said before, with Epic not being in it for its own monetary gain, is not in it for just themselves, but so that smaller devs can get fair treatment when they usually wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
And that's why this matters. Greg Miller said, we need companies that are big like Epic to be doing these fights and get tossed around by these big companies and get in fights with these huge monopolies, if you want to call them that, because they have more weight to throw around.
Yeah.
They have a bigger dog in the fight, if you will.
Yep.
Than some of these smaller developers.
A lot,
Yeah.
by a huge margin. Yeah.
But that's not all, Vin.
Hit me with the part 2, baby.
Because Epic Games has also filed the same lawsuit against Google as well.
Boom,
FORTNITE.
boom.
So, in addition to being removed from the App Store, FORTNITE was also removed from the Google Play Store the same day, Thursday.
Yes.
Epic responded with a similar lawsuit as they did with Apple, declaring that Google's payment restrictions on the App Store constitute as monopolization, same principle as Apple, and thus a violation of both the Sherman Act as well as the California's Cartwright Act, both acts that we saw violations of with the Apple case. 2 primary charges. It's going to sound very similar to the Apple, to the Apple case. Just letting you know. Monopoly. So 2 primary charges: monopoly control over the distribution of software to phones, and monopoly control over payment systems within that software.
So same things.
Over distribution and payment systems, same thing. In Google's case, Epic is specifically concerned about the Google Play Store's powerful role as a distributor of Android apps, and the Play Store's requirement that hosted apps use Play Store billing for any in-app purchases. Same exact deal as the App Store.
Yeah, just different names for everything.
Yes, they're coming for everybody.
Yeah.
Long story short, they're coming for everybody. Unlike Apple, the case for Google's monopolization through their App Store, this is the difference, has a little more gray area due to the fact that Google controls Android software less strictly than Apple does for iOS. Android has long allowed for the installation of third-party app stores like Epic's own Epic Games app, as well as being able to be side-loaded through direct links without the involvement of an app store.
That is pretty nice.
That is the gray area that might not be able to edge this one over for Epic Games. I'd say Apple is much more clear-cut, but with this one, you have exceptions.
Yeah.
You have loopholes.
Sure.
However, the lawsuit makes the case that Google has established the Play Store as the only viable distribution for Android apps. So even though there are other distributions, the Play Store is the only viable.
Bless you. It makes sense. They're not gonna promote apps being downloaded on their products from third-party websites. Exactly. It needs to go through the store to be legit. They're gonna say that.
And that's to be expected.
Sure.
That's obvious, right?
It's the smart thing to do.
But it gets a little more groggy, a little more dirty. Okay.
Get me all down and dirty.
Epic claims that Google forced phone manufacturer OnePlus to break off a deal that would have seen a special FORTNITE launcher pre-installed on OnePlus phones.
Let us not forget that I think it was the Galaxy Android. If you bought that on day one, you got a FORTNITE Galaxy skin that was very coveted. It was because basically it was a $600 skin. You had to buy you had to buy the phone to get the skin, and it was only day one. That skin is still in the game, but you can't get it elsewhere. So like, you have to think that there had to have been some sort of good relations at one point with FORTNITE and Android or
at one point,
Google
I would
Play
think.
Store or something. Yeah.
But whatever happy-go-lucky kumbaya was there before, obviously not around anymore. So there was this FORTNITE launcher that was supposed to be pre-installed on OnePlus,
which is so insane to me. Yeah.
But Epic claims that they had to force it, or they broke off the deal, right? And demanded that another Android phone maker, LG, abandon plans to do the same. So both OnePlus and LG were forced to abandon plans to have this pre-installed Fortnite launcher. With OnePlus, Epic claims that Google, quote, forced OnePlus to renege on the deal, end quote, after Google expressed concern about Epic's ability to bypass the Play Store.
Okay. Yeah.
In addition, Epic had plans to release the launcher worldwide, but Google, quote, demanded that OnePlus not implement its agreement with Epic with the limited exception of mobile devices sold in India,
Sure.
end quote. So, excuse me, Epic Games decided they want to release this launcher worldwide, but Google said, no, because we don't want certain retailers or certain devices in India to have
Google wants everything to go through their Play Store.
Yes.
By releasing worldwide, they cannot guarantee that everything will go through the Play Store.
Absolutely. Epic also alleges that Google, quote, prevented LG from pre-installing the Epic Games app on LG devices, end quote, because in LG's words, apparently, LG had a contract, quote, to block side downloading off Google Play Store this year, end quote. So, help me understand this, Finn.
Yeah.
Does block side downloading mean that you cannot download things onto your phone from third-party developers?
From anything third party, which you just said, would be considered anything not going through the Play Store. Even those third party developers that put their apps on there. Mm-hmm. Imagine if the Google Play Store was first party and then everything else was third party. That kind of thing.
Gotcha. So they were trying to eliminate the third party installation of apps.
They're trying to eliminate just downloading apps off of the internet.
Things that
or website. Okay. Anything that's not the Google Play Store.
Great.
From what I'm understanding.
All right, cool. Sounds like we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Without Google blocking these sorts of deals, Epic argues the studio, quote, could and would negotiate with OEMs to make Fortnite and other Epic games directly available to these consumers.
Sure.
Free from Google's anti-competitive restraints, end quote. Instead, after these deals were apparently scuttled, Epic gave in and wound up releasing Fortnite on the Play Store this April.
Yeah.
And then it did wind up working with OnePlus on a different Fortnite feature.
Okay. Now, James, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Let's say this whole debacle does not go in Epic's favor.
Okay.
It's going to be very easy for them to set something up where you can download a Fortnite app. Well, on Android, on Apple, they'll find a way around it. They have the assets, they have the money.
Right.
You're going to have to download this app through the internet or something, and it's going to be completely away from the App Store. Or they're going to make an Epic Launcher app that you have to download from the App Store that'll do Fortnite through there or something. But they're going to be fine no matter what. You're going to still be able to play Fortnite on your phones, regardless of how this goes.
I hope so.
I think so.
Regardless?
Yeah, to be honest.
I mean, maybe on Google.
And Apple is definitely going to be more of a challenge just because their OS system.
I mean, Fortnite's not on the iOS store.
But if you have it download on your phones, you can still play it.
That is true.
You just can't update it. True. Yeah. There's no way they won't take the hit on mobile, dude. They make so much money off mobile.
Yeah.
Crap tons. So they'll keep going.
I mean, Apple does too. I mean, I don't know if you're referring to Epic or Apple.
Oh, I'm sure
Apple makes just as much money, or not just as much, but they make quite a bit of money off of Fortnite because of that 30% revenue.
Exactly. Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
They aren't going to immediately cut ties.
Not a chance.
They aren't going to want to at least cut ties with the game that's making them so much money.
Fortnite's one of the top microtransaction apps on iOS right now.
Might be the most. I don't know.
It might be the most.
I have no idea, but it seems like it would be likely.
Yeah. So it's just big time #free Fortnite right now. That's what it is. And
then for some reason there's also like a weird #free Metal Gear Solid going around.
I saw Nibel tweet it one time and that's it. That's all I've seen. So no, it's not going around. It's not going around at all.
Free Metal Gear Solid from Konami, baby.
Metal Gear Survive.
F.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have more information on this as it breaks, but I don't even have that much to speculate on here. I just hope Epic gets it and it's fine.
There's not a whole lot of room for speculation.
Apple's not going to really stagger even if they lose this one, so
that's true. Apple just has such a monopoly and so much money that they can really just, I mean, it would take a little bit of a hit, but it wouldn't
Yeah.
be significant.
No, they'll be fine. They can get over it.
Which I guess proves more as to why it can be sued for monopolization.
Yeah.
You think so?
I don't know. I don't know the nitty gritty because I'm sure there's a lot of laws that I just have no idea that are in place.
Absolutely, me too.
And Apple's lawyers are going to be top of the line, top notch when
I'm
it comes to
sure.
this. So anything I would say to be like, oh yeah, they are a monopoly or they're not a monopoly, I don't really know. From what I read, sure seems like it. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I agree.
But James, great job explaining that because I would have butchered that. That was impressive to say the least.
It was a lot.
Yeah, I bet. Okay. Next up, do you have anything else to say about Apple versus Fortnite? I don't really have anything.
I don't know. I hope Epic is able to do what they set out to do. That is my hope.
The Epic is or Apple?
Epic.
Epic. Yes.
I hope that Epic is able to give more freedom.
Yeah.
Be the Robin Hood, and really support those smaller developers.
Yeah. I would hope so too.
That's all.
I would hope so too. All right. Next up, on Tuesday or Wednesday?
I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday.
Tuesday we got a Night City Wire, which is the updates for Cyberpunk 2077, and this one premiered at like 5 a.m. our time, so I did not watch it live.
No, it was like 9 a.m.
There's no way. I watched the whole thing after it was done at like 9 a.m.
Oh, maybe it was 8 then.
Because it was real early.
Because I remember I woke up early and I went on. I saw that I think it was IGN went live for the pre-show, and it still had like a 30-minute timer.
Okay, yeah. I watched the live stream back and it was like an hour and a half, but the thing was only 20 minutes. The actual Cyberpunk thing at the end.
Yeah, it wasn't very long.
But I thought it was pretty cool. Like I totally enjoyed watching this.
Yeah, every time I watch one of these, I mean, with the exclusion of the first one, because the first one was okay, but this one got me hyped. I was like, oh my god, so cool.
They kicked it right off with life paths. So
yeah,
they've been talking about when you start the game, you're going to be able to choose one of three different life paths. You can choose either Street Kid, Nomad, or Corpo.
Break them down, baby.
They've kind of said some stuff over the year or so about what these are going to look like, but they kind of gave a little deep dive in a little 20-30 second trailer on each one. And then James, I have a question for you after we talk about these. So
I think it's the same question.
Probably. Street Kid says, Street Kid is raised in the streets. I say, she belonged to the streets, baby.
She belonged to the streets.
Street kids are loners and heavy emphasis on nightlife. James, you wrote that, right?
I did, because I felt like it was very emphasized that as you would climb up the ladder, you would just start to go to like parties and stuff like that. And the guy at the very end of the street kid said, "Ready to get your cherry popped."
What was that guy's name? I forget.
I don't remember.
He's so funny. The big Hawaiian guy.
Yeah.
But okay, Street Kid. So when you think of Street Kid, raised in the streets, there you go. You
like the Brooklyn kid or the LA kid.
You know what's going on.
Get involved in gangs.
Yeah.
You climbing that like underground ladder.
You know that shady side. You're not afraid to explore that shady side.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have Nomad. Nomad lives on the lands. They label themselves as outcasts, so they live outside of Night City. I forget what they call the place.
The Badlands.
The Badlands. There you go. Strong bonds with other nomads. It's family above everything for them. And James, your little note about this, go for it.
Country boy, I love you.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. It's very country boys for the nomads. I can't wait to wear a cowboy hat as Street Kid or a cowboy hat as a Corpo. That would be incredible. Next up is Corpo. The design for Corpo is so cool in my opinion. Basically you rise.
What part of it? What were you talking about? Like, what part of the design? Like the
literally everything.
The character design?
No,
or just the whole idea.
Just the whole everything about Corpo, dude. It's so sick. It's. I'll get there in a sec. Basically, you rise to the corporate ladder, and now you work for a major company that's highly influential in Night City. James, you wrote that, I think. But Corpo is literally corporate. You work in high-rise buildings, and everything's very suit and collar and a little sketch in the tech world.
But it's also shady as fuck.
It's hella shady.
Yeah.
James, I can tell you right now, I'm gonna play Corpo, and I didn't want to.
Really?
I was like, that's gonna be lame. Like, Corpo, it's gonna be so stupid. It is not gonna be stupid. It is going to be so freaking cool. Oh my god, James, what are you
I'm
gonna
gonna
play as?
play this game 3 times.
As all three?
As all 3.
Well, here's the thing. They said this. Let me read this next bullet point, and then we can talk about the life paths decision.
Okay.
So, during this Night City Wire, right after they went over the life paths, they said your life path has 3 different starts to the game, and directly affects decisions you will make later down the line. You play your character from beginning to the end. You have options to stray from your original life path as the game goes on. Plenty of dialogue options that fit into your original life path that may hinder or excel progress in a variety of ways. So you can start as a Corpo and do street kid type stuff or nomad type stuff. You're not stuck just doing Corpo things, but your dialogue...
But not like completely. It makes sense.
Yeah, it has to make sense, yes. At the core, you're a Corpo, or at the core, you're a nomad or street kid.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to read my note real quick,
Yes.
and then we could get into it.
Do it.
So I really loved how each one of the paths isn't just a different starting point, but it seems like each path has different motivations and goals.
Yeah.
With tons of wiggle room for player choice in the form of different dialogue options that stem from each path. So in the actual Night City Wire trailer, the guy said some like corporate people come up and talk to the player, and he said, okay, well, if you're a street kid, you're not going to have knowledge of a lot of the things going on with these people or who they are. But if you're a corpo, then you do have knowledge of like what they're talking about and what's going on. So you might have dialogue options available to you that would not be available to a street kid or a nomad.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool.
That is pretty cool. Dude, it's going to be a hard decision. Right now I'm leaning Corpo. But what are you leaning?
I gotta go street kid.
Yeah.
I just love the classic street kid.
Yeah.
You know, raised in the streets.
Sure. Yeah, that's all. That's it.
0 to 100. Start from the bottom. Now we're here.
I just get some major. Obviously, you get Blade Runner vibes from the whole thing, but I'm getting big Blade Runner vibes from Corpo, and that's what I want. That's what I want most of all.
You're right.
Like,
Deckard is Corpo.
So Corpo. The whole what's the company called that makes the replicants?
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh my god.
That's very Corpo.
That's what I want. There's nothing else.
Screams Corpo.
Yeah, so that's
but you're gonna be like
be.
in the company.
Sounds great. Well, I'm just a cog in the machine, dude.
I feel like I'm betraying people if I'm gonna be a Corpo. I'm like, I can't do this.
No, that's the best. As a Corpo, I'm gonna be able to make the decisions to betray or not to betray. It's gonna be awesome.
You're ready to get thrown out of the corporate ladder because of moral dilemmas?
Yes.
God, that would be so cool too.
I can't wait. I can't freaking wait to play this damn game. Oh my god, it can't come fast enough. All right. So next up we have fixers, they explained. They went over a specific fixer called Padre, and Padre is a fixer in Night City. They quote fix problems. People with problems go to Padre, and then Padre goes to you, the character, to fix those problems. And now Padre is just one of the examples. He will not be with every life path because that wouldn't make sense for his character. There will be different main fixers for each life path that would make sense in that scenario. But you are not limited to that fixer. You will have their opportunity rises to meet all the fixers.
You can't cheat on your fixer.
But you can't cheat on your fixer, bro. You can't.
Come on.
You could kill your fixer and have to have another fixer. Remember, you can kill anyone in this game.
You could have an alliance with like one. You go to one fixer.
Yeah.
Then start talking to another fixer.
Right.
And kill one fixer for the other fixer.
Now that's a fixer inception.
Start a freaking fixer war.
I can tell you right now, I'm going to make 2 saves in this. My one save will be my real save. I'm going to play this game as legit as I possibly can, 100% role playing the entire time. And the second one will be killing every single main character and trying to finish as fast as I can, or have literally no objectives left in the end of the game. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be so good.
Oh, I can't wait for this game. I really can't.
Me friggin' too. Okay. We already said what path will you choose. Yeah, we already went over that.
Yep.
And then they went over the music, a lot of the music stuff. A little less interesting to me, but I still watched it. There's a small studio in Sweden making all of the Johnny Silverhand songs. It's all punk rock. pretty cool. Seems pretty like authentic. Like they're building this music. It's not really based off anything. It's a little
Right.
electronic punk rock, which is very cool. I think it fits.
Very fitting for Night City, though.
Very fitting. I would agree. They struggled, or sorry, the small studio in Sweden that's making the music struggled to carve out the singer's accent to properly represent Johnny Silverhand's voice. Also, the lead singer has some sick shirts in this video. That's James's
some sick shirts.
That guy had an interesting vibe because he like looked like a little sweet little guy, you know, and then he's on stage just screaming into that microphone. You're like, wow, that's coming from that little guy. Wow, that's impressive.
You look kind of old too. Not gonna lie, I was like,
yeah,
should you be paying taxes?
No, he's punk rock, bro. Punk rock never ages. Don't you know?
This dude has a mortgage.
Yeah, probably 6, 7 with all that punk rock money, dude.
Yeah, all that punk rock money.
So the next section was my favorite section of this Nightwire, which was the Tools of Destruction section. Cool. Quote, creative ways to solve problems in Night City. James, you went in on this. I think I just wrote
a little bit.
I just wrote things. Do you want to do this or you want me to do this?
I could do it.
All right, go for it. Go for it.
All right, so you have a wide variety of different types of weapons.
Yep.
You have tech weapons, power weapons, smart weapons, melee weapons, cyberware, and then you said, oh my lord, so freaking cool.
Yeah.
Weapon brands are also a huge part of the ecosystem.
Yep.
So you have power weapons, and the big thing about power weapons is that they can ricochet. And these are the most similar to like contemporary weapons that you'd see today.
Wait, I thought power weapons could punch through things. That was like the
No.
big thing they were talking about.
No.
Oh, okay.
That is tech weapons. So smart weapons can
Got it.
track people, but they require smart link to quote unlock the full potential of their targeting system.
What I'm sure is some upgrade that you do to yourself eventually.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Yeah.
Is like an ion plant or something like that.
Yeah.
Then you have tech weapons, which are semi-automatic, chargeable weapons that can punch through walls and surfaces.
There you go.
We see a sniper. We see a shotgun. I don't think we see like a SMG or something like that. But these are so cool that each one has like an electric sort of effect to it, like maybe like plasma or laser. You know, they look like future ass weapons.
Yeah.
Melee weapons are pretty self-explanatory. The one that they show in the demo is like a thermal katana, in which it's a black katana with this bright orange, you know, blazing hot, you know, strip along the edge.
God,
it was so cool.
Yep.
It shows some takedowns in the video, you know, just like a stab that throws them onto the ground or something like that.
Yep.
And then you have cyberware, which is my favorite part. I want to make my character just like no weapons, just cyberware.
Really?
Like he is a living weapon. I think that would be
like
so
the arm
cool.
things and the whips.
Yeah. So you have the mantis blades, which are like the arms that like come apart, and you have the blade that goes, you know, and those have like customizable, swappable blade edges that have different effects. In the trailer, you see like one that has an electric effect, so you stab it and they go, you know,
the big shock.
The big shock. Then you have gorilla arms, which are just like chonkers, and those are for huge strength and endurance upgrades. And you also at the very end, they had an Iron Man style like wrist rocket launcher, like the one in the movie, in the first one where he has the tank and it just goes and blows up. You have one like that.
I'm trying to think. I imagine that this game you're not going to be able to upgrade every single thing because it'll like have negative effects to other things that you do. You know, like they're going to make this hard decisions. You're not like, I don't think we're going to be able to have everything.
So they talked about this earlier, and they said if you have more like cyberware, there's always more of a chance that you can get like an enemy can grab you and like hack you and control you.
God, that's scary as hell. So they're balancing it with other things.
They're balancing it. Like it's not like, oh, you don't have any repercussions from just becoming a living weapon.
Sure.
You become a living weapon, but who's pulling the trigger at that point, you know?
That was deep, James. Wow.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know where that came from. You can expect new weapons through every single event in the game, or you can buy from vendors. Legendary weapons can be obtained for, quote, tough decisions, end quote, such as killing a friendly character just for their gun.
which is
Just for their
heartbreaking.
gun. It is heartbreaking.
It might have to be done, or you let someone die for their gun.
Yeah.
God, I'm gonna be an absolute monster in this game. My moral compass is gonna be way off while playing it.
I can't wait to see, like, I want to do before and after case studies of people playing Cyberpunk.
Yeah, there's gonna be some pretty messed up stuff. I guarantee it.
I can't fucking wait. There are also software and hardware mods on the weapons, like how a gun looks, but it's weak, question mark.
Yeah,
Okay, so software mods are smaller things like damage, accuracy,
things like that.
and like more like fundamental parts of how the weapon handles.
Yes.
And then hardware mods are more like just what you'd see in Call of Duty, like a suppressor or a grip or
Yes.
a scope or anything kind of to that
Physical,
effect.
like a physical, visible thing on the gun would be a hardware change, whereas
Yes.
software will be a stat change.
Or it changes like your type of ammunition. So like if you
Yeah,
have electric ammunition or corrosive ammunition, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. There's also different gun manufacturers, like I said before.
Similar
Like
to
the-
Destiny, where you have
Like the one for the power weapon is by Budget Arms.
yeah. There's gonna be all sorts of stuff. I have a feeling they're gonna make that a big point, but I don't know if it's gonna matter that much in the game. But it could. I just haven't seen a game make it matter yet.
I feel like it'd be like Borderlands.
Oh
Right.
yeah, sure.
So you would have like you had Jacobs, and all the Jacobs weapons were kind of that like revolver
The Western
style single shot. And then you had, I don't know,
That was cool.
Hyperion, which was the high tech,
Yeah.
rapid fire always had elements. So it might be something like that where different brands have different tropes that they use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you said, did anyone catch the end screen? Plays great also on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I'm stupid.
I did not catch that.
Oh really? I was gonna say that was stupid of me to put. Did anyone catch the end screen? Because like probably a lot of people. But yeah, on the bottom it said, Xbox plays great also on Xbox Series X and PS5. Even if I have to wait another couple weeks till the PlayStation 5 comes out, I'm gonna wait. I'm just not gonna touch this on my PlayStation 4. I'm just not even gonna bother. Yeah.
Which we might not have to, because then there was a leak this week
Another one?
that said there was another one that said it was like a box. It was a box excuse me, like an orange tag that they would put on a box for
Sure.
shipping or whatever, and it said like do not release until like November. It was a single digit November number.
It wasn't 17th? Because I've seen
wasn't
like
17th.
4 leaks that were 17th.
It was not 17th.
Wow.
It was like 6th.
Okay. I think. Well, hey, Xbox came out and in a tweet said that Xbox Series X is coming out in November.
Yes.
Like straight up, they're like, yeah, it's coming out in November.
It's straight up in November.
So you already know. PlayStation's like, all right, we're doing early November then. The first couple days, it's got to happen or something like that.
Also, on a kind of a separate note, I was reading tweets about this, and this kind of like showdown, this stare down that Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 or
Yeah.
Microsoft and Sony are having regarding who's willing to price their console first
Mm-hmm.
has never really happened before
Until now.
We
just think it's happened prior.
Right. I was reading some tweets, and I think Brian Altano was saying this has never happened before.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
I couldn't ask for it any other way.
I just want to know the damn price.
I'll tell you why the final nails in the Xbox's coffin, and it's not because of one thing that we're gonna bring up later on. It's because their controller leaked and it still has batteries in the back of it. You're releasing a console in 2020 that uses batteries in the back? Okay. 2 AA's? I'm over it.
I'm over it. No one has batteries anymore.
Who carried batteries, bro?
On a separate note entirely, CD Projekt Red is still, quote, not 100% happy with Cyberpunk's melee combat.
Yeah.
In a quote from Powell Capella, quote, we're spending a lot of time trying to perfect that, and we're not 100% happy. Mostly with the visual feedback on the hints on the hits on the melee, so we're still working with it.
It's fine.
Quote.
They got a couple more months. I'm not worried about it.
some people are speculating
I
that
know.
it will get a Q1 2021 pushback last minute.
I won't
Finn,
believe
what
it
do you
till I see it.
Okay. I don't know if I would be okay with it if it did happen, but
Yeah.
I don't think they are. I think they still have time to really perfect. And they said it's the visual feedback, and so I think they have enough time to tweak the visual feedback on the hits.
Also, we've heard about how they weren't happy with the melee combat before. They
That is
cited
true.
that as one of the reasons for the last delay. So they've had a lot of time. You know, they really have. They'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Finn?
Yeah, real quick. This is a quick one.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Big suck.
Big suck.
Halo Infinite delayed to 2021.
You hate to see it.
So stupid. Are you kidding me? What is Xbox
Clowns.
launching with?
Clouds. Nothing.
I mean, take your time with Halo Infinite because I genuinely want to play it and I want it to be good too. But what the hell are you doing? Here's the official statement. The official image that 343 released on their Twitter, or Halo released on their Twitter. Today I want to share an important Halo Infinite development update with the community. We have made the difficult decision to shift our release to 2021 to ensure that the team has adequate time to deliver a Halo game experience that meets our vision. The decision to shift our release is the result of multiple factors that have contributed. I need to zoom in. I can barely read this. Okay. No, you're good. It's not your fault. Okay. Including the ongoing COVID-related impacts affecting us all this year. I want to acknowledge the hard work from our team at 343 Industries, who have remained committed to making a great game and finding solutions to the development challenges. However, it's not sustainable for the well-being of our team or the overall success of the game to ship it this holiday. We know this will be disappointing to many of you, and we all share that sentiment. The passion and support the community has shown over the years has been incredible and inspiring. We wanted nothing more than to play our game with the community this holiday. This extra time will let us finish the critical work necessary to deliver the most ambitious Halo game ever at the quality we know our fans expect. Thank you for our support and understanding. Chris Lee, Studio Head, Halo Infinite. Now, James, you wrote under here, LMAO, O.
I did.
I have to ask the question, what do you think the odds are that this delay has to do with the reaction to the gameplay that was shown?
I thought about that.
Because they cited COVID as the number one explanation for them not being able to finish.
Mm-hmm.
But if that was the case, I don't think they would have shown what they showed at the last Xbox conference. I really think this is retconning from the gameplay.
Wow. From the gameplay itself. Core gameplay. I don't know if it'll be core gameplay retconning, but I definitely think they want to do a graphical overhaul. Because the primary issue, even though I thought and a lot of other people thought the gameplay loop looked a little boring.
Yep.
I think mainly people took issue with the fact that it did not look like a next-gen title.
That's what I was talking about. I didn't mean actual gameplay.
Oh, you're talking about like the gameplay demo. Got it.
The gameplay demo, yes.
Okay. I would agree. That's just speculation. That's an unprofessional opinion, but I agree.
That's all this is. It has to be, James. It has to be.
It has to be. It's too coincidental.
It's way too coincidental. Bro, they said they've been working on this for 6 years, right? Sure doesn't look like it.
It's got to be 7. Then it's about to be 7.
It's about to be 7. And God bless him for
That's all I'm saying. I tried to look up Xbox Series X launch titles, and a lot of these are. I don't think it has a single exclusive on here.
Confirmed
It has Gears Tactics, which is already out.
Yeah.
Yakuza Like a Dragon. I don't know if that's an exclusive.
It's not.
None of these are. Oh, the Medium.
I'm sure they'll announce them or say that some are moved up.
The only one that I'm seeing here is the Medium.
I wonder if they rush production on a couple of them just to get them out at launch.
God, they're all terrible.
Yeah.
Or at least unrefined and unfinished.
Imagine if the average score for a launch Xbox games is like a 6.5.
Oh. Deadly.
Oh, super deadly, dude. It would be deadly for the PlayStation 2.
I talked about this earlier, but I think they just need if they marketed Game Pass the right way,
Yeah,
they wouldn't be having this issue in the first place.
sure.
If they marketed Game Pass as an alternate way of playing for games, a more cost-effective way of playing games, playing more games,
Hmm.
and having a greater access to a greater library of Xbox and of Xbox titles that are both exclusive and non-exclusive,
Yeah,
I think they can make a strong case for a strong opening. But that's not what they're doing.
right.
That's
You explained
that's
it
not their
best a couple
focus.
podcasts ago. I won't be able to quote you, but we clipped it.
Okay.
I clipped it, and it's solid.
Oh,
It was
great.
with the Xbox Game Showcase episode.
Yeah. And if they just marketed it like the way I said, like if it was just, hey, here's an option that we don't necessarily like, we care about these huge AAA games,
Hmm.
but because you have such a discount on playing and you have a greater library available to you at a lower cost,
Yeah,
the Xbox Series X is more like catered to the player experience. It is more for the
yeah,
consumer, they could argue, than their competitors.
yeah.
They could say that.
But they
That
don't.
is perfectly on par to say that, but they didn't.
They didn't. But do you know what they did do, James? They put batteries on the back of the damn new Xbox controller.
Put batteries on the back of the controller.
Travesty. They're not launching with Halo, and they have AA batteries on the back of a 2020 controller.
Vin, do you even own batteries? Do you
I
even
do.
buy batteries?
I have a little stockpile of batteries.
For what?
Stuff. Whatever needs to be done.
See, you're joking yourself. No one buys AA batteries.
I have AA
anymore.
batteries. I had to use them for my TV remote the other day.
A TV remote.
That's the last time I used them. It's been a long time. Anyways,
Oh my god.
Halo delayed. F.
Major F.
Huge F for Xbox.
And for gamers.
Huge F for me, the gamer.
The gamer.
Okay, next up. This is a huge F also. There's a lot of Fs today.
A lot of F's today. Hey, but we got a dub at the end.
We got a dub at Cyberpunk too.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, big F right here. Next gen upgrade for Control stuck behind a $40 paywall, even if you own the game plus all the DLC. This comes from Camercon Faulkner at The Verge. Remedy's Control is getting a new $39.99 Ultimate Edition that bundles every update and a bit of downloadable content that has been released since the game originally launched in 2019. It will come out August 27th on Steam for PC, then on September 10th on the Epic Game Store and both PS4 and Xbox One digitally. Interesting that Steam's getting it first. Notably, buying this console version will serve as a ticket that grants you a free digital upgrade to the PS5 or Xbox Series X version via smart delivery when it becomes available. If you originally bought the game at launch plus all the DLC, you would have spent $85 on this game.
So this is just an all-encompassing like Ultimate / Game of the Year edition that
Yes.
they would have put out for another game. It has all the DLC, has all the downloadable content,
Yep.
all the everything.
So I am big bummed right now because I loved Control. Like, James, I know you haven't played it yet, but
I can't wait to play it though.
freaking loved it. I got the base game and I got the disc. So I played it, platinumed it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's one of the few games I got a platinum for because I just freaking, the ambiance and the atmosphere in that game, unmatched. So good.
Wow.
Right after I beat it and platinumed it, I was like, okay, I'm done. I've had enough. So I sold it, and with that money, I bought Modern Warfare with it. It was kind of like that little, buy it for
switcheroo.
50 or whatever, sell it for like 35 because it still had some value, and then
Sure.
put that into another game. Played it for like $15. It's a lot of time. But
Yeah.
I really, really wanted to play it on the PS5 because it just did not run great on the PS4. It was a slog to get through.
Now
And
you have to buy it again.
I will not spend $40 to play it again plus the DLC. I was gonna be all about it if it was if I could just buy another digital edition or something like that and play it. But I will not be paying $40 for it. So
Damn.
yeah, big F.
Damn.
But you should.
Would you? Here's a question, Ben.
Yeah.
If Control, the base game,
Yes.
went on a sale
Yeah.
Like, so they are in preparation for the Ultimate Edition.
Yes.
They scale back the price on base control for PC.
For
Would you
PC.
replay it for PC?
Maybe. I've done literally every single thing you could possibly do in Control besides the DLC.
Wow.
Like I've done it all.
That is right, because you did platinum the game.
Yeah, I just want to play it with like ray tracing on PS5. Like that's kind of it.
You see the Miles Morales
screenshot?
God.
Nut.
With the ray tracing?
Nut.
Huge nut. And they compared it to Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah. With like a similar suit.
Night and day.
Yeah, man.
Night and
so
day.
Excited. Yeah, crazy. Thanks guys for being there in chat. On the post show, we will we'll chop it up a little bit. Chop it up in the post show. But so dude, I don't know. This is a bad call for me, dude. Just make it a free upgrade.
Yeah. Is that Epic Games? Who made
Remedy?
Who made Control? Remedy. That's right.
Yeah.
Right. Same studio as Alan Wake.
Yeah.
That's the Alan Wake DLC.
But if you guys have not played Control and you want this Ultimate Edition for $40, great price. The $40 game alone is worth the price. And plus you're getting the DLC.
I'll still probably wait for a sale.
Yeah, wait, that's fine. Yeah, but play it on PS5. Just don't bother on PS4.
I'll either play it on PC or on PS5.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Control is great though. Everybody should play Control. If you like sci-fi. If you don't like sci-fi, it's sci-fi that is a little bit confusing but very intellectual. And so you might not get it at the end. I don't even know if I really got it at the end, but it's worth it. It's worth the journey. It's great.
Yeah.
Okay, hit me with this one.
Injustice 3, featuring none other than The Watchmen, has been seemingly teased by Boss Logic. Boss Logic is the same man who did the Assassin's Creed Valhalla cover art on stream,
and
among other things.
Plenty of other video game art.
Game art. He is quite notorious. Artist Boss Logic, aka Nikolai Boslajic.
Boslajic, that's where Boss Logic comes from.
Oh.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is, baby. Has posted an intriguing image on Twitter that teases Injustice 3. Technically, it's Injustice with the 3. This is not a blood B. This is the 3 at the end.
Yeah, there you go.
But I can't bring myself to type that more than once, Vinny says.
Yeah.
It's not entirely clear if it's official, but Boss Logic has done lots of official artwork for games, including the Assassin's Creed Valhalla reveal, as I said before, and plenty of Street Fighter art.
And literally everything.
There's also, literally everything. There's also the little matter of DC's upcoming Fandom event on August 22nd.
Yes.
So the timing seems about right. Boss Logic also happens to be attending the virtual event, and he's tagged NetherRealm Studios creative director Ed Boon. In the image, we see a big old like watchtower type of clock.
Let's go.
Which could be a reference to the Watchmen sequel Doomsday Clock. There's also the little smiley face on the left-hand side of the clock, which is a dead ringer for the yellow badge that Watchmen's comedian wears.
Yeah.
So, Watchmen characters in Injustice 3? Dr. Manhattan would certainly be an interesting character to play as. If Injustice 3 is announced at the Fandom event, it would be in fine company. After a brief tease similarly on Twitter, it's looking like Rocksteady will officially reveal its next game at the event, which is based on the supervillainous antics of Suicide Squad.
James.
But that's not all, Vin.
DC Fandom,
if you will.
We're going to get Shazam 2, which I don't really care about because Shazam 1 was mediocre.
Hey, but I like Zachary Levi.
I loved it until the end. I thought the end was super stupid.
It was awful.
But I like Shazam was fine. Probably the best DC movie yet. Besides Batman vs Superman.
So.
Batman vs Superman's okay.
I liked Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman was fine. Okay, we're getting Suicide Squad game.
Yes.
We are getting the new Batman game potentially. Court of Owls, maybe. But we are also getting the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, we are.
Which I don't really care.
It's a big day.
But I don't really care about Snyder Cut because I finally watched the Justice League and it was so bad. Like, people were right, dude. People were freaking right. I don't think anything can save that
I feel
movie.
like that should give you more reason to trust in the Snyder Cut.
I have no...
Because
it was already
I feel like it could
written.
only go up from here, Vin.
I gave it a 1.5 out of 10. Or sorry, well, that is like a 2.5 out of 10 actually.
So there's a lot of room for improvement.
Sure is. Sure is.
Maybe Zack Snyder cut will be it. Maybe the Snyder cut won't be it.
DC fandom though, it's gonna be great. Unfortunately, I will not be present to live react to this, but that would have been a phenomenal thing to put on the channel because I would have had a great time. I will be in Arkansas.
It's a damn shame.
F. But Injustice 3, I'd be so stoked. Holy crap. I loved Injustice 2. The first one's pretty good too.
Do you know what else I'm stoked for?
What?
WB Montreal's new Batman game, which is also supposed to be unveiled during the DC fandom event.
Sorry, yeah, keep going. Yes.
No, it's okay.
So sorry.
Don't worry about it. We're good. We're good. WB has revealed the official schedule of the DC fandom event, with many already known anticipated events already planned, like the reveal of Rocksteady's Suicide Squad, which we talked about, as well as potentially Injustice 3 and the Snyder Cut. However, there's also a 10:30 a.m. Pacific time slot for, quote, WB Montreal game announcement, end quote, which
watch him just throw in the towel, give us something completely different. Not what we're expecting.
I would cry for the rest of the day. I really would. Yeah. Which has been continually hyped via various Court of Owls hints for more than a year. Some are calling it Batman Gotham Knights. Finn, do you have a wish list? What do you want to see? What don't you want to see?
That's an interesting question. I haven't really thought about this. But I want it to be similar to Arkham Knight, that had an engaging story, mechanics that are kind of divisive, like the tank. Okay. I don't want the tank back or anything, but like it's okay. Like I just want them to do stuff that is not. Arkham Asylum was great because you were just Batman in Arkham Asylum doing some detective shit, trying to figure out what's wrong, and fixing things. And that was great for what it is. But I think we've moved on from that single location place, and we are at a big world Batman game, and Arkham Knight did it very, very well. And Arkham City did it well too.
I think both games did it well. Yeah. Exceptionally well.
And I just thought Arkham Knight was creepy. I just thought Arkham Knight was so good. So if it is similar to Arkham Knight, expanded upon, I'll be a happy man. My expectations, I guess, are not super high, so that I can be like super wowed by this, like whatever it's gonna be. Yeah. What about you? Do you have anything you're looking forward to in this?
I want to see cool detective shit.
Yeah.
And I want to see strong antagonists. I want to see more hard decisions for Batman to make. I want to see a lot of Bruce. Right. Yeah. I want to see how
more Bruce.
Develops. What?
More Bruce, because we don't get a lot of Bruce in the Arkham games.
You don't get a lot of Bruce.
Good. That's a good wish list. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see more Bruce. The Court of Owls provides a lot of foil for Bruce to go off of.
Sure.
Right? A lot of inner conflict, and I want to see that.
Yeah.
Really bad. In terms of gameplay, I don't know. I want to see how it goes because the Arkham formula was so influential.
Yeah.
And in third-person action games everywhere, with the little hit indicator, the counter system that went into Assassin's Creed, that went into things like The Witcher.
Yeah.
Went into everything, right? Every game after that.
Well, I don't know if that was the first one to do it, but the first one to do it very well.
Yeah, the first one to popularize it, I should say.
In third person, yeah.
So I want to see if they can. I mean, I guess this is WB. This isn't Rocksteady, who made the first one.
Yeah, we're talking about the
this
people
is
that did
Arkham Origins.
Yeah.
Team. So, and I think Arkham Origins, even though I didn't play it, was praised very highly.
Yeah.
For its detective systems.
Yep.
And so I want to see a lot of that.
Yeah. Imagine doing the detective stuff as Bruce Wayne. Here's what I want to do in the next Arkham game, James.
Okay.
I would like to be Bruce Wayne at a very schwanky party. Okay. I want to see Anne Hathaway from across the room, beautiful as she is as Catwoman, right? Or anybody as I want to see Catwoman across the way, and she's Selena Kyle, right? And she's at this party,
right.
And at the same time you're trying to get close to her, you're also trying to solve something at this party or talk to someone at this party, and it's this big, it's like a dance of a scene, You're trying to be this detective, not trying to let anybody know you're Batman. Selena Kyle knows what's up. You know what's up with Selena Kyle. You're both trying to get
Just
the
flirting
same
with
thing
you?
at the same time, but you're flirting with each other. Can you imagine that level if done right? Game
It'd
of
be
the year.
incredible.
Mic drop.
Wow.
That'd be it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our favorite part of the podcast.
Let's get it, baby.
Let's get it. Random fun stuff. RFS. We got a little bit going on today.
Random fun stuff. Yes.
I'll kick it off.
Please do.
We got Hyperscape, now available on Xbox One and PS4. It is important to note that Hyperscape's launch, abysmal.
Really?
Quite the letdown.
Really?
I read a Verge article on it.
Huh. I mean,
Yeah,
I played
it
on
was
PC.
only
It was
like-
okay.
What?
I played on PC. It was okay. But
There's just not a lot of people playing it.
it's sad.
Like hardly anyone.
I think it went up, like, it kind of blew up, and then just kind of died down.
Yeah, the opening hype was there, but no following
Yeah.
pull for players, which is quite sad. All right,
All right,
that's
next
the
up.
next one.
COD Modern Warfare microtransactions have earned Activision an extra $536 million.
Oh my God,
That's like
huge amount of money, ridiculous.
that's the amount. That's like more than the game sells on the first week, which is
More than I'll ever make in my entire life.
crazy. Yep. Yes, sir.
Last of Us 2 gets grounded difficulty, permadeath mode, and art styles to play in after the game has ended.
Yes. Cool.
Super cool.
Might play it on. I mean, I'm gonna play it again on PS5, but not playing it now. And Splinter Cell's Sam Fisher joins Rainbow Six Siege. I actually didn't know that.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, I might have to jump back in.
That might be a console switch for me too when I go into that, because I'm gonna have a lot of open world games. So like this will be cool to have a little, like a first person
cooldown.
shooter. Yeah, play.
Yeah.
That'll be good. That's RFS. Oh.
That's hard. No, we got one more, baby.
Oh, you got one more?
Yep.
Where?
EA
Oh.
will let you disable cosmetics if you don't want to see people's tricked out ships in EA Squadrons. Or, sorry, not EA Squadrons, Star Wars Squadrons.
That's fair, because I bet you can customize it, make them look hella cool. But when you actually
Yeah.
want to get down and play and win more competitively, you go legit.
Well, like, for other people's ships. Like, so if
Yeah.
I have a tricked out ship and you see me, you're like, oh, I don't want to see
annoying.
your tricked out ship.
Yeah.
It's annoying. It takes me out of it.
I don't want to see your bright yellow X-wing. Yeah.
Right.
With bubble trails like in Fortnite or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a wrap on episode 28, ladies and gentlemen.
That's an episode 28. We're so close to 30, Vin.
We are so close to 30. EA disabling microtransactions. I wait, we have to address this. I don't think that's what we're just saying. We're just saying that the actual cosmetics in the game, you will be able to not see them if you would so choose.
You can turn off the visual for like the visual aesthetic of other people's
Right.
ship.
That's all.
And their customization.
Um,
Also, EA has said that they aren't doing microtransactions for Star Wars Squadrons.
there you go. There it is.
So
Well, if you're here in chat, stick around for the post show right after we end here. If you're new to Strictly Casual and this is your first time watching on YouTube or on Twitch, right underneath you can find all of our socials, our Twitches, Discord. If you jump into the Discord, we can chat during the week. You can put questions that you want answered in the podcast. Just hang out for some sweet hangs.
Yep.
That's a wrap. That's episode 28. Next week, we're going to be recording the episode early. I don't know how early, but we will let you know in the Discord as we go. Yeah. So, thank you guys so much for watching. That was incredible.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Everyone.
All right, see you in the post show, everybody. Peace out.